Hi everyone, I just hope you're all well. I just watched an amazing video by the coach Martha Beck. I think she's absolutely amazing, and I hadn't seen any of her stuff for a while, and I watched some stuff tonight and it's just blown my mind. She's an amazing woman, and she talked about burnout, and I wanted to share some of these findings, some of this information, because it's just invaluable. It's something that so many of us deal with. You know, how many of us just feel burnt out day to day? How many of us just keep going and going and going and going, and then we wonder why we collapse at the end of the day? Or what I found in my case was that I was, going and going and going, or having periods of rest, getting lots done, but having a very active brain, finding it hard to switch off, and then at the end of the night still not being able to sleep because my brain was still running on, 100 miles an hour, 1,000 thoughts, ideas racing. And, it's not surprising we get to a point where we think we can't do this anymore, or basically our body tells us, our body shows us that we can't do this anymore. Our body just forces us to stop in one way or another. So whether it's mentally or physically, you get to a point where you've burnt out your resources. Your body or your brain somehow are going to say to you, right, that's it, you need to stop now. And then people have fainting fits, or people just collapse and sleep for 2 days, or people have mental breakdowns. I mean, we're not supposed to be in a natural state of burnout. So what I found was that in this video, Martha Beck was talking about burnout and the very basic, simple reason why it happens. So, in the olden days, businesses were run very differently. They were, we relied on natural daylight to know, when to work, when to stop working. We worked in the day, we slept when it was dark. We didn't have this massive exposure that we have now to technology, to smartphones, to tablets. I'm recording this video on a tablet and I love my tablet. I also now have a smartphone, which I've had a few months, and I'd never had a smartphone before, and also a laptop. And what we don't always realise is that all these brilliant advances in technology, these accessible things that make it possible for anybody to be an entrepreneur. Anybody can upload videos and put them on YouTube, and it's fantastic. But what we don't realise is that these gadgets are emitting a blue light that confuses our brains. It confuses our circadian rhythms, our natural sleep rhythms. So we're supposed to get tired at a certain time every night, and the darkness confirms to us that we should be feeling sleepy. But when we spend hours and hours and hours being exposed to this blue light, well, the blue light confuses our brain into thinking that it's daylight, and it's not daylight. And it can contribute to sleep problems, especially if you're prone to sleep problems anyway. Me personally, I've always kind of been prone to it. Even when I worked full time in, standard jobs, I would be prone to insomnia. And then I would say, since having my child, my daughter's now 6, having my child completely messed up my sleep patterns. It kind of made something go click. So the natural routine that I kind of relied on got lost completely because I gave up my full-time job. And then going self-employed on top of that, I completely lost my routine. So I have my vague little schedules. I have my little schedules that I have to work around every week. So working around my daughter, having appointments, having business commitments and that kind of thing. But the general strict routine has kind of gone out the window. And to be honest with me, I don't know about anybody else, but, it affected everything. So my eating habits aren't fantastic and they could be better. And I'm getting better because I do listen to my body more. I tend to graze, which is a more intuitive way of eating. So when I get hungry, I eat. When I'm full up, I stop, which is better than having 3 huge meals a day and basically forcing your body to consume a load of food that it doesn't want. So the kind of, the natural rhythms that we all rely on, the natural routines, we don't always have. We all have very different routines and patterns. And what Martha Beck talked about was that we have to start almost going back to nature and seeing ourselves as the wild animals that we are. So we're not supposed to be machines. We're trying to compete with machines. We're trying to compete with technology. So many businesses are run, by machinery. So whereas maybe you might have had people in a factory hand making products, now so many things are made by machines and they're made en masse, they're mass produced. And what we have to realise is that we are not machines, we are human beings. And what Martha Beck says, and really made me think, she said, we're beyond that. We're wild animals. We have the behaviour and the instincts of wild animals, and we have to see ourselves that way, and we have to work with ourselves in that way because we're not machines. So basically, we need to give ourselves permission to ebb and to flow, to have up and down and natural rhythms, natural rest and natural work patterns, because our bodies actually respond better to, if we listen to our natural, if our body's telling us we're tired, if we're getting mentally tired, we've been working on a task for a while, or if we're physically tired, our body's saying have a rest. Now, what some people might think is, I haven't got time to rest, I'm too busy, I can't afford to rest for hours and hours. Well, what it seems is that you don't need a huge amount of rest. Your body or your brain, or your mind is telling you, have a break. And what Martha Beck says is that even a 20-minute lie down, so to go and lie down for 20 minutes and just regulate your breathing, is enough to make a massive difference. Because what happens is, when we are very passionate and very into our work, and especially when you're self-employed and you don't have a boss telling you you have to work these hours, you stop work here, you start work here, so you're regulating your own time. And if you're really passionate and you're really into your work, and especially if you're creative, with me, I find when I get going, it's easier for me. It's quite hard for me to get going, but when I do get going, it's easier for me to carry on and on and on and on and on and on as long as I can until I flake out, rather than stop, start, stop, start, because I'm very much a kind of all or nothing person. Once I get going, I want to carry on, I want to get the most out of it, get the best results, get all my best stuff down on paper, I want to do it. So, but we're not supposed to work like that, because we're actually, when we're kind of in that state of excitement and passion and mania, we're actually having a fight or flight response, we're actually in a stress response. And if I believe rightly, your body is producing cortisol, I think cortisol, which is the stress hormone, puts you in a stress state, and it's not actually a healthy way to be long term. It has all kinds of major effects on the body, some really serious effects. So what Martha Beck says is that you want to be making as many decisions from a place of peace as possible, rather than making decisions and working from a place of stress. So how do we take steps forward with this? Well, basically, we need to start listening to our bodies. So when we start to flake out, we start to lose concentration, we need to listen to that rather than pushing through it and saying, okay, I need to go and switch off. And I think it's probably enough to go and make a drink and have a walk around, and maybe you just listen to what you need. So even just to take a break, if you've been cooped up at home, get outside, see some green. It's been proven that, it's a primitive biological thing within us. It's been proven that if you go out and you walk through green, you walk through fields, you walk through the woods, it does actually stimulate the creative part of the brain, the problem-solving part of the brain, and the memory part of the brain. We're supposed to be outdoors. It's our natural habitat. We're not supposed to be cooped up looking at walls. So worth thinking about, guys. Give it a try. Start listening to what your body needs, and taking time out. And what you'll probably find is that you'll get better results, you'll be more productive, and you'll be less stressed. So give it a go. Let me know how you get on. And I'm going to be running this experiment too. So hope that helped. If you like, please subscribe, please share. I'm going to keep making these videos, reaching out, helping as many people as possible, whether you're entrepreneurs, whether you're parents. I'm both. I do all kinds of things and I learn a lot, and I'm always taking in information. I'm always reading, always learning, and I'm trying to share as much of this as I can. So take care, everyone, and I'll catch you all soon. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.